Happy Deep Dive Live Wednesday, Robert?
Yeah, it's Saturday somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure is.
I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know how these things work.
Papua New Guinea, maybe.
Yeah.
You're listening to and watching Deep Dive Lives on the Podcastle Set-Jetter Saturdays with the maestro Robert Patterson at setjetter.com. It's good to see you. We have some interesting things going on tonight. Popping.
Popping.
So let me ask you this. We're just gonna kick it off with what you've been watching since we're gonna be at the Hollywood show this weekend.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this on Saturday or Wending, I just saw you updated the or show doc with some what you've been watching, and I got to just ask off the bat, what is this about?
What, Eric?
Yeah.
It is a new show
Oh, I
on.
know what it is.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen it. I'm very
Oh, I'm an
just curious.
episode and a half in.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know too much about it, but I knew enough. I was like, oh, you watch the 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was like, yeah, end of episode 1. I'm like, what? And then it's kind of going down some strange pathways. I'll say that.
Interesting. So do you like it so far? Do you recommend?
It's hard to say. I need to get through it. The thing is, like, Benedict is an unlikable character, so it's
Oh,
I don't know if it's but it's part of me is like, and it's not like The Shield or something like where you're kind of like kind of the anti-hero. It's just kind of like, I don't like you, so why am I spending all this time with you?
right. With there's so many options, and
Mhm.
you kind of know what you like, and why go down? But who am I to talk? I mean, how many times do I watch The Stand? Although we
I
love The Stand.
Well,
So
everybody loves The Stand.
I get that
Um,
way with Entourage, and as I
yeah,
get older, I'm like, I don't need to be doing this to myself
yeah.
anymore.
But so anyway, we'll see. Um, it's I like the '80s stuff, of course, So
Yeah, we got a shout out to from Brian Koppel. Set-Jetter, you
Mm.
recently celebrated the anniversary of Big Mama's House.
Oh,
Has that inspired you to do Big Mama's House 2 locations? Great question, Brian.
that is a good question. I've not. I think I saw Big Mama's House 2 in the theater because
Really?
I had a friend that managed a theater, and we would always. This is when films were actually on film. And so they had it run it the night before to make sure that there was no issues. And so we would be at the theater in 1 a.m. watching all the movies that were coming out the
Oh,
next day.
yeah.
So we watched a lot of bad movies.
Been there. We had that one friend, and it was a trash bag of popcorn,
Mm.
literally like a clean, here you go, filled it with popcorn, go to town, there to like 2 a.m.
But yeah, if fans want it, I guess I can do Big Mama's House 2.
And
I
while
feel,
we're on the sequels, Gremlins 2 could be a good option as well.
oh, don't even.
Oh, right. Bad idea.
No,
So
I do love Gremlins too, but don't
yeah.
get Brian started on my
Oh,
not posting his pics on
God
Gremlins.
forbid.
Thanks a lot, Matthew.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
shouldn't have done that. And then I'll tell you, well, we can watch the Alien Romulus trailer. I just want to run through what I've been watching.
Yeah, please tell
It's
me.
all crap. I rewatched Dial of Destiny. Why would I do that to myself?
Do you think it was gonna be better?
I,
Was
I
it?
it
Was
was
it?
better.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that movie for me. I can suspend belief with any kind of movie. It's the little things in there that irritate me. So, for example, and I think you brought this up when we first talked about it. Spoiler alert, kind of in the beginning when Mads hits his head on the train. Do you remember he got knocked off?
Yeah. Oh,
That
yes. Well,
brain damage at best, decapitation at worst, and
yes.
then there's no problem. So I'm like, kind of unnecessary. And then what was
And
the
there's
other thing? The
yeah, I
car
remember.
doors during the chase.
Yes.
Remember the car doors? Well,
No.
they're on the tuk-tuk, which,
Yeah.
by the way, aren't as fast as Mercedes E-classes, but for some reason they're keeping up. And while they're on the chase, the door to the car opens up, and as anybody knows, when you start moving, the door goes back in and closes. It
Mm.
stays like erect the entire time when they're doing like 80 miles an hour. I'm like, okay, it's like
Maybe
there's like a
not. Yeah.
bunch of things like that,
Yes. Well,
But
yeah, I know we talked about suspension of disbelief, and then you go back to some of the sequels, like, okay. But you feel like they should got a little bit better at it, like.
A little bit. I thought so.
Yeah, but you're right. I remember in the theater, I never got past the Maz part getting. I was like, oh, he died. So I was like, because you knew time travel was going to be somehow involved. And I thought, well, maybe this is, he died here and he's going to come here or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. There was a lot of weird layers going on there, but I still like a lot of the sequences. Like, for example, it was the first time we saw Indiana underwater, like in a scuba setting, which was kind of cool. But I feel like the whole movie's based on the time machine. I feel like it's kind of an amalgam for we wish we could go back in time and see
yes.
a better Indiana Jones.
And it wasn't even the right time. Like, because I think the way I figured it, like if they were following actual years or whatever, it would have been 1981 when the movie was supposed to be taking place.
Oh, right.
Which would have been
Yeah,
perfect.
you're right.
Yeah, because that's when Raiders came out. I'm like, oh, I was like, what if they do a meta thing? Like,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Like Steven Spielberg's New Nightmare, where they're playing themselves, but they get trapped in Indiana Jones world.
Dude. Oh, so I watched Dial. I do like Dial of Destiny better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, though.
Well, yes, that's the thing. It didn't completely erase that, but it did a good enough job.
They really hit hard on the soundtrack to get the nostalgia going. They play it a lot, You're like, he could just like blow his nose and all of a sudden you hear dun 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 dun, and you're like, okay. Thanks, John.
Speaking of needle drops on.
Oh no.
I did a quick rewatch because I'm getting ready to do location for LA. You ready?
Oh, please.
We're gonna do Beverly Hills Cop locations.
Yes.
All 3.
Oh, thank you.
So the second one, they needle drop the anytime Axel gets in a car or something like ding, 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 you like they just needle drop the every time. Now I'm doing this. And, anyway.
Yeah, right.
What else?
I watched. So, have you seen Godzilla -1?
I have not, but I've heard it's gotten good.
It's really good. It's the best Godzilla movie I think I've ever seen. It's they finally got it right. It's faithful to the original.
But wait, better than the Matthew Broderick version?
Well, let's not get crazy with ourselves. Oh my gosh, that was so bad. Yep, -1's good though, because if you can get past the, voiceover dubbing, which you can pretty quickly, it does a good job with the in-between story. Like, you actually care. That could be its own movie without it being a monster movie.
Gotcha.
Which was really cool. And yeah, it's just faithful to the original, and it took a lot of cues from Jaws. I mean, even Spielberg said like he was obsessed with this movie and he loved it, and he was honored that they like took cues, because there's one scene where Godzilla's chasing them in the water and they're on an old boat like Quint, and there's 3 of them, and they even like mimic some of the shots, but it's done like respectfully as a tribute. It's not like a ripoff, but it feels real, like as real as you can get. So it was good. It was really good.
All right.
I recommend.
I'll give it a watch.
Do you know why they call it -1?
I do not.
I didn't either, but it's because basically at the end of World War II, when Japan surrendered, they were Japan at 0, like they lost. -1 is Godzilla came and they're like down another notch. So
Gotcha.
It was a Japanese film, so to the Japanese it means like it's like their Independence Day kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's very sexual. Okay, so we have I haven't seen this yet. This is the Alien Romulus. No. Is this special?
So it's a new trailer they just released, and it's kind of like the whole movie. I shouldn't say that. I don't know.
It probably is.
I should.
These things.
Should we just watch it? I only watched it once, but do you want to watch it?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Let's.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I got it queued up.
How do we do this?
Let's do it. Here we go.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
What's happening?
There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something
I
in the
don't know.
water?
There's just something in the fucking water. Fucking thing's hunting us.
Open the door, come on.
Run.
Are you sure you want to do this?
So
Okay, so
I'll let you share your thoughts first.
well, off the bat, they obviously took a lot of cues from the other movies with the font to the sound effects. But not knowing anything about this, it looks like there's nothing new being added except, and stuck on a spaceship. First,
Yeah.
people trying to survive, and they get picked off one by one. I don't know what, like. There's nothing new.
They mostly stole from the other films.
They
Mostly.
mostly. Why don't you just put Ridley Scott in charge, man? Am I
Yeah, I was
wrong?
like,
I mean, I don't know.
It looked like the
Maybe it's
greatest
great.
hits of the Alien franchise, which, all
Yeah.
right, like I don't.
Yeah, because all those movies, even Resurrection, had something new to the table.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is
So
the point?
I don't know. So yeah, part of me was like, oh, all right, and then we're also like, I try to erase it a little bit because I'm like, oh, I know what happens to that character. Like I'll try to forget it before I go see the movie. So I'm somewhat surprised, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
When did that come out? Was it this summer?
I think so. Yeah. So
We'll be seeing it opening night,
we'll
no
still
doubt.
be seeing it. They'll take our money, but yeah.
Please take our money.
But yeah, and especially like the end of it, kind of the Alien 3 like shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, at the end with the alien
Yeah.
coming right up to her. So, what is the storyline of this? Is this after?
I think it's before. I don't know. Actually, I'm trying not to know too much because then. But for some reason, I thought it might be a prequel. I don't know.
Well, we'll be seeing it regardless.
Regardless,
We have to see
in
it.
our alien shoes, in our alien stompers.
Oh, if you don't know, viewers and listeners, Robert has the best pair of Reeboks ever. The best sneakers ever, like across the board.
Tawny, they spared no expense.
They spare no expense. We manufacture those, by the way.
That's what I was waiting for you to say.
Manufacture.
We manufacture those shoes, by the way.
Just kiss all that goodbye. So I have a segment now, Robert, that I put together. We have a segment. These are sequels, part 2s only, that we feel are better than the original. And I think this is a topic that a lot of people have done before, but we're putting our own set-jetting spin on it.
Yeah, I put some maybes on mine. So I'll have you start sharing yours first.
Okay. So I feel like The Dark Knight is 2006 is a better sequel than Batman Begins.
I
feel
would
like
agree.
you do agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of the whole trilogy of his, but
Right.
yes, completely agree.
I'm not either. I'm not a huge fan either of that. The next one I think you will disagree with me on.
Well,
this is not actually a sequel.
That's where I kind of missed that because I'm like, I felt like this was a part 2s only list.
Okay, so I'll scratch this off the list. It was Army of Darkness.
Yeah, and I put Evil Dead 2, which I know some people would think kind of blasphemous because Evil Dead 2 is kind of like it's a little bit of a reboot of the first one quickly and kind of add on to it, but Evil Dead 2 I think is 2 greater than 1.
I'm on board with that 100%. Yeah, I think Evil Dead 2 is. Evil Dead 1's kind of hard to watch for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it too cheap? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. I'm biased to definitely Evil Dead 2.
But you also think Army of Darkness is better than.
I love Army of Darkness. It's the king of one-liners.
I just never. I have it on Laserdisc, but
You
yeah,
either love it or you think, do you really?
I tried. I tried to love it. Yeah,
I just love it's the one-liners with the skeletons,
yeah.
like Sally Sally Forth, like it's just so ridiculous. But yeah, I used to watch that a lot. Next one I have is we just talked about this in the last show. Oh,
Yeah.
Austin Powers 2.
2.
It's better than the original if you're into that world.
It, I can't remember. I can't comment.
It sucks, Robert.
I don't. You like it, so there you go.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
What do you have for yours?
So far, so I put Evil Dead 2. So we both agree. I put Empire Strikes Back because
Yeah.
that is, and so I actually brought some Empire Strikes Back stuff out for
Ooh.
display.
Oh, cool. Oh, there it is. I love it.
We got Slave One, and
Best ship.
this is one of my favorite figures. Let me see if I can.
I think we both agree Slave One is our favorite spacecraft in Star Wars.
What's it called now? Boba Fett's
Oh.
Starship.
Starship
This
Cruiser.
is my favorite.
Oh,
Princess
that's
Leia.
great. Leia.
And the
Oh,
best
that's
thing
such a
about it-
nice ensemble that she
it
has
is.
too.
This is my favorite outfit,
That is really nice.
and I kind of still want to live on Cloud City.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Who
Oh,
wouldn't?
Leia.
But yeah,
That's a great one.
so she lives right there.
That's great.
And I put Star Trek 2.
I was thinking about that, watching that last night. And I thought of you. I didn't know this. You liked it better than the first one.
Yes. So Star Trek, it had different funny titles. The slow motion picture. There's a couple
The
others
slow
that
motion
people had kind of good things. 'Cause, yeah, I remember, and I saw
funny.
all of them in the theater. But
You did see him theatrically.
yes. So, but I
Oh, I
remember
love
Star
that.
Trek as a kid, as a 9-year-old, I think. It's like, what? This isn't Star Wars.
This isn't Star Wars.
But Star Trek True, yeah, it was, yeah,
Yeah, I
It
feel
is
like
good.
a lot of fans would agree with you too.
I would think so. So, what do you have
Oh,
next?
that's
on
cool.
your- What do you have next?
Next
on your
on
list?
my list, I have Aliens. Okay,
Yep,
speaking
never heard
of
of it.
Aliens. Yeah, it's some movie by James Cameron, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Something to do with Marines or something.
Okay.
But I know Aliens is more of an action adventure movie, and people might argue Alien is a better psychological thriller, but it's a matter of opinion. I just feel like there's so much going on in Aliens. There are some stuff in Alien that there's some scenes that run slower. It's not as,
Yeah.
Once you see the whole body of work, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, Aliens is more rewatchable, and I think that's why
It's
it
more
probably-
rewatchable, right?
Yeah.
The effects too for 86. I mean, we've talked about this before, like the green computer screen they have was ahead of its time for 1986.
I thought it was state of the art. It's the future.
It's the future. What about you? What do you have for your next one?
So I also had Aliens. I put maybe Terminator 2. So it's kind of the same. It's almost
Yeah.
the same thing where both
Mhm.
movies are great. T2 just kind of just amped it up, twice as turbocharged.
Right.
And so
For the
it's like,
time.
yeah, but Terminator, the first one's still good. So I don't know, and that's what I gotta put a maybe for Terminator 2 because, and I also feel like I probably overwatched it over the years, but
Yeah. I mean, I'm just it was the effects at the time that came out. It was like the perfect storm, and also, yeah, it was just such a fun like time for movies. It was
Mhm.
exciting. It was newer. It just worked. So many
stuff
great
we've never
one-liners.
seen before.
Right, we're gonna see him this weekend. Edward Furlong, best known from American History X.
Yes.
Best known from Aerosmith. So my next one, I put Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
I'm talking about the Tobey Maguire ones. Do you
Yes.
would you go on board with that theory?
I would, even though I still don't like it.
Yeah, but you like it better than Spider-Man 3.
Yes, everything is better than Spider-Man.
All 5 endings of Spider-Man 3.
Yes. Oof. But yeah, so Spider-Man 2 is kind of like the Superman 2. I don't think Superman 2 made either of our lists because Superman 2 used to be I used to like it more than the Superman one when I was younger because it's more action oriented. And I think as you get older, you kind of realize the first one is better. But
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, I kind of felt this, you get that origin story out of the way and you just go right for the villains.
Right. Yeah, which I do like.
Yeah.
What about you? What's another sequel that's better?
I put Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So
Good call.
I've tried to like Blade Runner. If Nick Lewis is listening, he loves Blade Runner. But it was just too slow. I mean, it still looks great, but
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049 had a better
That's-
plot and kind of moved ahead. And I like the visuals even more in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, I can get on board with that for sure. Blade Runner 2 has, like you said, really good visuals, but there's like so many cuts and they never really add to the experience, I think. And it's a long movie. It feels long.
Yes.
I mean, this has kind of an asterisk to it, but Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
So Top Gun will always be a more beloved film because it's just a part of 80s pop culture that so many people know. But Top Gun Maverick's like a good film in its own. It's a better film, in the sense of acting and just story, I think, where Top Gun's just like a fun ride.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. Like, I love Scarface. It's one of my favorite movies, but it's not a good film. It's shot kind of weird, but like it's fun. It's like one of those situations.
It's highly rewatchable.
Yeah.
So I like Top Gun Maverick. I don't know if I watched. I don't think I watched it twice. I think I saw it in the theater because it was kind of the first everybody go back to the theater. And I think at the time it was pretty. I felt like kind of pretty impressed in the time, but it could be like we haven't actually had seen a movie in so long that it was.
Yeah, right.
Seemed more impressive than it was.
I remember that. Yeah.
But yeah, so as we talked about before, I was not a fan of Top Gun when I was 16. I was a little snooty moviegoer already at that age. So
yeah, sure. Yeah, you were dignified. You knew.
Yeah, I refused to go see it in the theater.
Yeah, not happening. What was yours?
I put Gremlins 2. So same thing.
Yes.
They're both good movies. And some people really don't like Gremlins, but same thing. I felt like kind of like it amped it up.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was just so much fun, and whatever you can think of, throw it in there and make it work, and they did. The Clamp Corporation.
Yeah. See, that's what. Yeah. Pre making fun of Trump was already happening right there. I think he wasn't even his wife or girlfriend called something. I thought it was another allusion to Trump, and they got some things right at the time. It's supposed to be kind of funny because they had a different channel for everything, and like that's crazy. And
now here it is.
Do I can't even. At the time, it seemed outrageous. Like the archery channel. I'm like, we probably do have.
Yeah, it was like the Dracula channel.
Yeah, all those things. So
I love the scene in Gremlins 2 when the gremlin turns into the gargoyle from the cement.
Yes,
so cool. My next sequel that I feel is better than the original is Friday the 13th part. I don't know why I'm struggling with this. Friday the 13th part 2.
You shouldn't struggle with the very last part.
I should. I feel like I love the Friday the 13th movies, but 2, it's Jason. It's more of follows the suit of the other ones. I do like the setting. I think I watched it more when I was younger.
Yeah,
and it was just to me more interesting. Friday the 13th I love, but that ending is like 20 minutes long of them chasing each other, and I'm just like, just get it over with.
Well, part 2 is it's a long chase too, but
a little bit, yeah.
I would agree. Part 2 is more polished film, and
good call.
They kind of had already just kind of got it together. It looked a little better. Not that the first one looks super cheap, but it just had some better lighting, and they just kind of
better lighting, a little bit better cinematography. Less money on the police uniform budget.
I know you're going to bring that up. So,
but
I think better casting. I mean,
yes,
they have a lot
except
of good, except
for Pam. Pam Voorhees.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That's true.
Call
So,
her
yeah,
Pam.
she came back. They brought Betsy Palmer back for
Yeah.
a cameo at the end. So which I always
Yeah.
kind of forget. So
The setting
Jason,
too is
mother
Ja-
is talking to you.
Mother is talking to you, and the girl in 2 was supposed to be the guy that just passed away's character in 4's sister, right?
Yes, Marta Cooper.
Rob's.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
my sister Sandra. Yeah.
Sister Sandra.
And
Okay.
yeah, so I still wish I know Amy Steele has the original script to part 3 where she was supposed to be the star, and she needs to make copies and sell it. She just has to.
Oh, she does have the original.
She said, yeah. So because I remember she had piece. I'm like, please. I was like, please, just you sell it, sign it, whatever you have to do.
Yeah, throw it
Yeah,
out there.
because
People will buy it.
Oh yeah, I would totally buy it.
100%. What was your next one?
Final Destination 2. So same thing. I
Okay.
like both films, and I like the franchise for the most part. But same thing. Part 2 just kind of amped it up again, and so
Yeah.
it wouldn't subvert expectations, but obviously, so I have a fear of flying, so of course, Final Destination 1 was like scary for me.
Yeah.
And then
It is scary.
now nobody can drive behind trucks without Final Destination 2ing it, creating
I
vehicles
know.
and so forth. But
That's a good point. Yeah. I'm on board with that as
yeah,
well.
so
Good
so
call.
that was my next one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And my final one I have on this list is Batman Returns.
Mm,
I feel like is a better movie than the first one. I know the first one changed the game. It was a lot
Yeah.
darker. It was something new. But Batman Returns, I mean, just that whole, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman and Danny DeVito as the Penguin. It just had all the right feels to it. And it's a fun movie.
I agree. And here she is.
And here she is. What do you? Oh, where did you get that?
I've had this for a while, so I like. There's different ones. This one is like near the end where her hair is kind of like.
Yeah. Oh
has-
yeah.
She has a whip and everything, and so like So
5, 6. That is so cool.
but
That's
yeah,
awesome.
So I agree. I liked Batman
Yeah.
Returns the best until, of course, Batman and Robin came around.
Well, yeah. I mean, was Batman and Robin also Joel Schumacher that did
Yes,
Batman
so
Forever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he apologized.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He's sorry.
Has anyone ever owned that movie and been like, I'm proud of that?
I don't know if anybody's ever said anything. Yeah.
Schwarzenegger said he liked that character that he played.
Yeah.
But he thought it was a bad movie, but he had fun doing it. But
There's 90 seconds of screen time.
Right. Mr. Freeze.
They talk about anytime the camera's more than like 15 feet away, it's not even him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't do much.
True.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up this tonight. This is a favorite topic of yours, Robert. Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
So
Great. I'm sorry. Oh, great.
I'll make it quick. But here's my thing with Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage. I enjoy a lot of his movies. So he's a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
Before there was really Nepo babies. I mean, there was,
Yeah.
but he did a few,
we had Jamie Lee. We had some, yeah.
Jamie Lee, yes.
Yeah.
There were a few. But
The Coppola family, they all are Nepo. I mean,
100%.
they all finagled their way in. Yeah.
Just get him in there.
Yeah.
So he did a few movies, and then he won an Oscar in the 80s. And then he did a few rom-coms, kind of downward on the career, like not as well received as the previous. And then he turned into this action star, like midway through his career, did like 3 blockbusters, like 2 movies a year, and then went down and did a lot of bad movies. And now he's trying to do the, Oscar fodder kind of stuff. So guy's been doing it for 40 years.
What did he win an Oscar for? Was it Raising Arizona or?
He was not. He won it or was nominated for Moonstruck.
Oh, okay, Moonstruck. Okay.
Or Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
One of them.
Gotcha.
Well, Matt Clark and I have all.
We know everything here.
Yeah.
It wasn't for Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
He did. No, it was Leaving Las Vegas.
Okay, that makes
Or
sense.
yeah.
Or
But
not.
but he got nominated for a few. And he did these action movies, which and as you know, he was also going to be Superman.
Yes.
So I'm just fascinating with his choice. Like, what are your thoughts on him? Do you like his work?
I do not. So
No.
I mean, I vaguely remember him, obviously, in Valley Girl and kind of Fast Times. But his first thing that I truly remember was in Peggy Sue Got Married, and he was
Oh,
doing that
right.
awful voice affectation the whole movie.
When-
Peggy, I
Uh,
thought we were I thought we were going steady together.
Peggy,
Oh, and then I remember, and in in her memoir, Kathleen Turner like talked about like she just I think she went to a couple and was like, "What is he doing? I can't.
What?
Yeah, I can't. What am? Can somebody do something?"
What was that voice?
I don't know what he was doing or kind of why, at some point, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it's kind of one of the ruiner of the movie, because I love Peggy Sue Got Married, but then anytime he's on screen, I just have to I'm like, no, leave him. There's not even question. Why were you ever with them? Leave him. But anyway,
Right.
but I think he did Raising Arizona, and that's kind of, I think, which kind of that and Moonstruck. I think we're almost kind of right in a row in the next year or so.
Yeah.
And then when I looked, then he kind of did a little bit of everything, which was fine, like
Yeah.
you take your jobs or whatever. But yeah, and so you talked about the 90s, and that's when and I do like Guarding Test because I do love Charlotte
Yeah.
McClane. But then after leaving Las Vegas, then it was like The Rock and Con Air and Face Off and Snake Eyes, and that just became his 8mm. And then he was like the go-to. But it was a time where you go to see the new Nicolas Cage film, or you'd go see the new Sylvester Stallone, and you're like, is it action something? Like, all right, you just.
And Snake Eyes was I think underrated, at least in terms of cinematography. Like Brian De Palma, if you've watched that recently, does a lot of interesting shots and continuous like long takes, and it's a kind of interesting movie. It's in Atlantic City. They don't really get too ambitious. They obviously just used it they had like a good location to film at and did the whole thing there. It was like a good whodunit that maybe could have been better, but I think that was like the tail end of his
Probably out of all
peak.
those, I'm probably most familiar with Face Off, and then I think I just watched like the last 20 minutes of it at a hotel.
No, really?
I was like, what? I was like, how did this work again? And is it Joan Allen plays the wife? Like she was, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, Joan Allen always played the wife in all 90s films. But she thinks it's him. She does a blood test, and it's like, and then, but part is interesting because a battle between two over actors between John Travolta and Nick Cage. It's like,
it's so much going on.
Yeah, I thought they were remaking that, but anyway.
Face Off. I did hear something about that.
I did hear something like that. So, and then he had, his resurgence, with the National Treasures. I guess that wasn't too soon after the 90s.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but, and then The Wicker Man.
Bees.
Anyway, and then I don't know. Then he's just done a little bit. He goes to the opening of an envelope.
He's doing and he does a lot of those movies that are, I guess they're obviously independent films, but I don't know if they're like straight to streaming, but like Mel Gibson's doing now. He's in like all these movies and they're all called like the same thing, like Fear of Justice and No Ways to Escape, and just generic sounding titles. And you're like, okay.
I'm trying to forget. I can't remember which movie I walked out of at Sundance with him because I'm like, I'm not
with
doing
Nicolas
this.
Cage.
Yes,
I remember you talking about that.
But I can't remember what it was. But I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
I'm not doing.
Yeah, I'm
not doing this.
No, I'd rather be staring at the wall.
I'm done.
But so, what is your favorite Nicolas Cage film?
Well, The Rock, of course.
Okay, that's what I figured. So.
Yeah. Well, The Rock's just a fun ride. I mean, it's it's the combination of Cage, Sean Connery, and Ed Harris, and it's just such a spoofable. Like some of the lines in there, you can just say them. they're applicable to so many situations. I'm lobbying for you to see this movie.
Ugh.
I'm going to trap you this
You're
weekend.
gonna see if it's like you can force me to watch it.
Why would we do that to friends?
I don't know. Well, I'll see what I'll force you to watch.
What's on it? Please bring it on. What's on the before I bring up some setjetter.com goodness, what's on the menu for this upcoming week? Do you have any new pages? Anything we can
What did I
dive
do?
our pinky toe into?
Let me see because I know what I think it was today the anniversary for Poltergeist. Was that right?
I did see it on your page. I didn't know which
I
day
think
it was.
I think it was today. For like 42 years, which is crazy.
Wow.
42
years.
Yeah, so was it 1982? Yeah, so.
Yeah. Damn.
Oh, that was yesterday. It looks like maybe so.
Okay.
Today was The Stepfather, which is one of my favorite.
You do like The Stepfather.
I do like a lot. So,
yeah.
Vancouver. So, and I think while I was doing that, I was like, oh, I should update The Omen. I mean, I had not created The Omen 4. So
The Awakening.
Yeah. So I kind of was like, oh, let me do this because I missed I think May 20th was the anniversary date. So I kind of missed that. But I was also thinking, so tomorrow's my sister's birthday, June 6th. So she's a 666 baby, which Damien Thorne was also born on June 6th. So I just thought, well, my sister's born on the night of the demon. And in Omen 3, the rebirth of Christ, or the second coming of Christ, was born on March 24th.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And when is my birthday?
March 24th.
March 23rd. So
March 23rd.
Close enough. So I'm just.
Well,
saying,
I remember we were both 23rds.
Yeah, but
do you want to go through the Omen page?
If you would like to, we could do it.
I would like to.
Let's do it.
Before we tap, it's an unveil here.
Yeah.
It was 1991.
Yes. Hopefully I got that year right. But
have you seen it? Great work. I've seen the third one. I haven't seen the fourth one. I don't think I've ever.
A lot of people don't know there was a fourth one. So
yeah.
But I think it was released direct to TV. So
I think
there you go.
There you go. So this is Omen 4, The Awakening. Yes. But I always love that you do these deep dives, complete us. So tell us what we got here.
Who else is doing it? So the exterior, I think this is the church or the convent. I can't remember. So this is not my actual photo for the very first one because there's 2 St. George's schools, and my GPS took me to the wrong one. I was like, what? And
really?
Later, I figured out there are other campuses a mile away. So anyway,
can't the Canadians get more original names?
I was like, come on. But anyway, so the interior of this church, they were very nice. It was a rainy day, and so they let me take some pictures inside. And
let me just go through these real quick. This is a good shot right here.
Yeah. So so that part that looking that way, the church looks about the same.
Yeah.
And when you do reverse, they put in a new pipe organ and stuff like that. So.
Wow.
But yeah, so it was a very nice church.
That is cool. This is Robeson Street, Vancouver.
Yep. So this is and this is used as quite a bit as City Hall and different things. And I think it was we talked about Scooby-Doo the movie. So I think this was in Scooby-Doo or Scooby-Doo 2 or something like that.
It reminds me of the New York Public Library.
Yeah, you got those lions there. So
yeah.
So they had a psychic fair in the movie.
Do they really?
Yeah, I've never heard of a psychic fair, but apparently they
no.
did. So, but yeah, so this was in the Prospect Point playing field. So I was there, and this was my winter shots. So
wow,
different.
You really got out there. That's good.
So I don't mess
those psychic fairs. Yeah. I love how there's multiple booths. So the entire thing in the film was psychics, like an expo.
Yes, and everything gets a little crazy. Imagine.
Sure.
Yeah. So. So this was the East Delta Hall. So down in Delta, British Columbia.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yep. So yeah, it's about a mile and a half, I think, from the gas station from Cabin in the Woods. So
nice.
So that the outside pretty much looks the same, and then they were super nice and let me come inside for the next
True Gospel Revivals.
Yes.
That's a good chat.
So inside looks a little bit different. Obviously, they did some updating in the past few decades, but you can still see the stage is there and everything. So
very cool. When did you take these photos?
These were just taken in February or March, whenever I was
Oh,
there
okay.
earlier this year. So,
Oh, cool.
and then looking at the back of it, they added on a little bit. So, but I look these trees though.
Ah.
Yes, are almost all the same. I was like,
Oh
I
my
was shocked.
gosh.
All that is still there, and it's still they have a gazebo and stuff like that. But I was like, it almost looks the same to me,
It
doesn't it?
really
Yeah.
does. Like
So
just right here and here, you can see.
yeah, I was like, oh, so these are authentic
Wow.
locations.
From
Yeah,
33 years ago.
yeah. So I'm always a little shocked, like how much
Yeah.
stuff
That is interesting when you see that.
stays the same. So, and then I did a few locations, kind of near downtown, but Oman or parts of down Vancouver are getting not nice, so I didn't really get to
Oh,
everything I
really?
wanted to. Yeah, so but
Yeah.
you can kind of see where things kind of match up a little bit still, even with
Yeah. It's a good
renovations and so
shots.
forth.
He
Yeah,
was a
so
detective in the movie.
he was so, and he gets so people still get kind of killed in almost Final Destination ways as they do in the Omen series, but because it was for
Oh.
TV, it's not quite as graphic. But
What city was it supposed to take place in?
I don't even know actually.
Okay.
They might say, I can't remember, but it would never take place in Canada, of
No,
course.
of course not.
So
No, God
these
forbid.
shots aren't quite right, but that he's crossing the street and there's the hotel behind him. But that's
Oh,
what it
okay.
looked like at the time.
Cool, cool,
And
cool.
then finally, the house, we kind of walk up, kind of look. I got some snow, so it's kind of authentic.
That
And
is
then,
authentic.
you can flip ahead a couple photos and kind of see some nice shots of the house. I don't know. This one took me a while to find, I think, but
It's nice shots though.
there's the house.
Good
Yeah,
find.
thank you.
This
So
was just a private residence.
yeah. So
Oh, nice.
unfortunately, I have a gate, so I can get. All my shots don't line up, so I always
How
kind of
dare
hope, like,
they?
I hope they're home and they just let me in because it is Canada. So,
Yeah, right.
but you know,
How does the Omen 4 rank in the whole?
dead last
Does it really?
in
Well,
the
how many
film.
are there?
There's four movies. Well, I guess
Oh,
I should
really?
no wait. Let me take that back. There's 4 movies that are kind of in the linear, and then they had an Omen remake. So I don't know. This might be second to last because the Omen remake is just worthless.
Oh, yeah, you were saying.
Yeah.
You're talking about the one in early 2000s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. There's like 2 cool scenes in that movie, but that's it.
Yeah. So at least Omen 4 was trying to do something semi-original, but it's just it's not as good at acting,
No.
and the little girl is just no, you just hate her, like
Oh,
because she's a bratty little girl, and I think they keep missing the point. Like, so Omen the remake missed the point because remember the little Damien was always giving dirty looks or whatever, and then the original Omen, he just kind of smiled and looked. He would.
that's what made it creepier and
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like a kid scowling, you're just like, yeah,
What's
come on."
gonna happen?
Yeah. I hope she's
Keep
not
that-
evil.
Leave that stuff to the children of the corn professionals, folks.
Yeah. But
Well,
so no.
Well, that's a great job on that page. Good.
Thanks.
Thanks for putting that up there. I always love new entries on setjetter.com.
For the 2 Omen 4 fans.
Oh, they're there. They're there. I think that, don't you think being a professional as you are, though, that's the beauty of, no, I'm serious. With set jetting is you don't have to know the movie to appreciate it. It's
Yeah.
like, I enjoy seeing it because I'm like, oh, wow, like you got this shot. And
Yeah.
it does look, see how things change and are different. And it's interesting. It's an art.
Yeah. And now you don't have to watch it.
No, I don't have to watch. That's another part of the beauty is you're
Yeah.
like, I can skip it.
Just like Alien Romulus, and now we don't have to watch it.
Definitely not
We
watching
saw
it.
the whole movie.
I'm going to go back to Friday the 13th part 6 pages on setjetter.com. How many?
Some of those locations are just a block away from Jason Takes Manhattan location. So
In the Omen 4?
Omen 4, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Before we get going, I wanted to mention the Hollywood show this weekend. There was, have you heard any news of cancellations or additions or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the page to see if anybody's canceled yet, but I haven't seen any new additions the last I checked, and then I don't see any new cancellations.
Because I saw Tom Arnold was there, which I missed before.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Not that I'm scampering to see him, but I do like True Lies.
I did. Last time I was This is a couple shows ago. It was there, and he was one of those like not getting an autograph, but I got a picture with him, and then I felt like he knew I was cheaping out, and so he didn't really interact
Oh,
with me too much. But
do you think he was charging too much?
I don't. Well, I just like some people are like, what? I don't do anything with these autographs, so if it's cheaper just to get a photo with them, that's all I care about.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
he's like, you get less of my time for a photo only.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to pay you any kind of mind or respect until you pay me.
And then Matthew walks up. He's like, I can get this
And I'm
sucker
like-
for
I'm like, sure. And he's like, how
Oh.
about $300? I'm like, how about 4?
It's like, why don't you give me your credit
Deal.
card?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So I was looking at the times that people arrive, and I saw this is where my mind goes to, but you would know the answer. Edward Furlong shows up at 5:30 on Friday, and then he doesn't come back till 1 p.m. on Saturday. I assume that's because he's going to be partying, and there's no way he's waking up before 11.
Where do you
But
see that? Yeah.
On the hollywoodshow.com.
Okay.
On the homepage, if you click on LA, they show you the times they show up.
Let me see here.
Well,
Well,
was gonna-
I'm on the homepage. I'm looking.
I'll share my screen, but I
Yeah.
was wondering if they if that's common that
I didn't know that
they
had
show
it
up
posted.
later. I
Let's
thought
see.
you had to be there at like a certain time, but
They don't. But yeah, show me what you're looking at, and then I'll.
okay.
'Cause
So this
otherwise,
is
yeah, if I
kids.
wouldn't
This is the
use-
Hollywood show,
Okay.
and then there's this. If you scroll down, there's this.
Oh, this is the photo ops, though.
Oh, okay. So this isn't the time they actually get
No,
there.
so this is the time if you buy a photo op. This is when they take pictures, the professional pictures.
Oh, is that? Have you done that? Is that what you do with Priscilla?
No, I rarely do that because one, it costs a lot more, and then two, I kind of like the candid shots. But
Yeah. Oh, this is like in front of a step and repeat kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. So
Oh,
so
yeah,
sometimes
no,
it
why
works
would
out
you-
like if getting like the entire Dallas cast or something like that, then kind of that.
that's when it
makes
would
sense,
make
but yeah,
sense.
so- or if you're getting like Lindsay Wagner and Lee Majors or something like that. But
I gotcha.
yeah, so
Lorraine Bracco is going to be there from Goodfellas and
I-
Sopranos.
I'll be curious what she's like in real life.
I'm curious. Yeah, I'd be curious too.
I feel like she's, I don't know, I
Full
feel
of
like
herself?
she was, well, I don't know. I feel like she was like kind of one of those people that should have been done better than she did, I think, in Hollywood. And there's
Yeah.
probably a reason she didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she's hard to work with.
But we'll,
I've
Well-
heard rumblings about that.
yeah, we'll see how full of herself she is. It's interesting. Sometimes the lower they are on the totem pole, the higher kind of attitude that they have. So,
Yeah, and that's why they're not finding work.
but I don't know.
It's a
we
small
shall-
town.
We shall be the judge.
We'll
of
be the
that.
judge. Thomas Ian Nicholas.
I've met him a few times.
Is he a nice guy?
He was very nice, down to earth. I met him first time at
Yeah.
Sundance Film Festival. So because
that's
actually
right.
I remember that now that I'm saying the week before, because I always kind of do this. I remember because I was like, oh, he was on something. I'm like, I'd like to meet him. And then a week later, we just bump into him at Sundance. I'm like, oh, my sister.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course. So
Did you guys go snowboarding afterwards?
we did not, but
No.
star of Halloween Resurrection,
Yes.
Thomas
Yeah.
Ian Nichols.
Do you revisit Resurrection ever?
No,
No.
I
You
think
can't.
I think I did. Actually, I did a couple scenes when I was going back to Vancouver because I needed to go to where they put the reverse shots of the Michael Myers house, and so I was like, oh, I need to watch some shots. But
But you'd only did it for work,
Yeah,
not for.
I can't. I kind of forget it exists.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. No, me too. When I saw it theatrically, even then, as like a dumb kid, I'm like, this sucks.
But I did love Jamie Lee Curtis's hair. So, because I'm like,
Yeah.
finally, she had Laurie Strode hair.
Yeah, the Strodemeister
Yes.
was
so,
back.
So yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. Then I was kind of excited, and they had a kind of decent trailer for it because they probably should have reversed it because in the trailer, it's like, oh, this is happening, and then they end with Jamie Lee, and they're like, boom,
Yeah.
boom,
Right.
and then in the movie it's like reversed where like they kill her awkwardly and she runs slowly.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I was just like, and then there's like, Okay, now time moving on.
They should have reversed that. That's a
Yeah,
really good point.
they should have something in the beginning or whatever, and then maybe she would show up at the end.
Yeah.
But
No, that's a good point. I like it.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it reminded me the first time they showed an image of Jamie Lee on the set for Halloween 2018, and she had Laurie Strode hair. I was like,
Oh, nice.
like so excited.
Yeah. That was an exciting time
Yeah.
when they did all that. And there was, so many bolts of nostalgia coming through, and it was good. Not as good as Clown House, but good.
Can we even talk about Clown House?
I still gotta watch Clown House.
If you dare.
It really is scary, isn't it?
It scared me. Well, I don't know. I was
it's scary.
Was I a teenager or 20? I don't know. I was old enough to not be.
I was scared when I saw the clip you sent me of the clown just running like that.
Tree running. I was at clowns running. So, but
scary.
It does have this weird kind of thing. Now you're like, oh, like there's some weird moments before we knew what was going on with the director and the little boy in the film.
Okay.
And then now you watch it, you can't not see it. And I'm like, oh, I just wish this wasn't.
Oh,
there. But
yeah, that it always happens.
But it was one of Sam Rockwell's first movies, so he was also in it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be our show tonight, Robert. Unless you had anything else.
I don't think so. Well, what are we charging at the Hollywood Show for people?
Hollywood Show this weekend will be there at Burbank. Probably lifetime of respects and $10 or a piece of gum and a handshake for autographs of Robert. Yeah, of course. A lot cheaper than the folks at Shazam. But we'll be there. Come on down to the Hollywood Show in Burbank. You can go to hollywoodshow.com.
All roads lead to Burbank.
They really do, and it's at the Marriott, right across from Bob Hope Airport.
They don't call it Bob Hope Airport anymore.
Oh, it's just Burbank Airport.
It's called like Hollywood Airport or something like that. So
okay,
which is just I mean it's disappointing. I mean, several years ago I was at where they filmed Pee-wee's the Alamo. Whatever mission that is, and Bob Hope is buried there, and Bob Hope's daughter was there, and so we're talking to her, and at that time because I heard they talked about she was upset because they were going to rename the airport to Hollywood Airport instead of the Bob Hope, Burbank Airport, so she was kind of upset about that. I'm like,
yeah, I don't blame her. Did they change it because he was like controversial or something?
I don't think so. I think they were trying to attract more people to take flights, but I don't know.
They changed it to like something more controversial or something that Ike Turner Airport. And you're like, I don't really want to go there.
The Kevin Spacey airfield.
Yeah, maybe not
I don't know, but yeah, and I think they were trying, and pretty soon they're going to start. I know they're renovating that airport, so it's going to be different.
Good.
Sometime soon. They probably are overdue, but they're also renovating the Omaha airport as well. So,
really?
Be an international airport, yeah. So.
Oh, it's not an international?
No, I don't know. Yeah, we for right before COVID it was, and then COVID happened. Nobody was flying, and we lost that. So
oh no,
but now it will be now. So.
Well, with Bob Hope Airport, or I'm sorry, Hollywood Airport. Even if they didn't do renovations and gutted it, it would still be 1,000 times better than LAX.
Yes, I prefer Burbank Airport.
Oh, 100%. Sure. I'll never fly LAX again.
Yeah.
It's just like there's always a problem. The last time I was there, it took an hour just to leave the airport. Like while getting in the car, an hour just to leave.
Yeah.
We're talking like not even a quarter mile of roadway to leave. It was just that much traffic. And you're like, no.
Like, what am I doing?
I'll pay the $300 extra bucks or whatever.
And there's nothing by there. It's like you don't stay near there,
No, it's in like a bad part of town. It's just depressing. Yeah. Burbank, at least you're there. You're like, I'm in Burbank. I'm in like a nice,
Yeah. And
hey, it's Jay Leno, everybody.
I've flown into Ontario, which was a nice airport.
Have you really?
Yeah, that's a nice new airport.
Oh.
Their old airport is used for, I think it's still there because I would taken some pictures in different movies like Catch Me If You Can and so forth. But
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I think it's still there. I don't know.
Is that on Set-Jetter.com?
It is. Well, not that, but there is
the airport.
White Bird in a Blizzard shows the airport.
You listen to that memory.
I know, Buck. Everybody knows White Bird in a Blizzard.
Your eyes go blank. You're like, it's file 42693.
Yeah.
Whitebird.
Was
there an alien on board? Yeah.
And I need to fly into John Wayne. I think it's John Wayne I should fly into because that's been used in movies too. But
John Wayne, yeah.
Yeah.
That's in Santa.
Is that Santa Ana or Orange?
Santa Ana.
Orange. I can't remember. So anyway.
Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Brian sent a few comments. I'm just going to read them to give him the respect he deserves. He still has frostbite from getting Robert's photos.
From Gremlins too.
And he said, and her running, which I'm not sure what that was in response to.
I think it's Jamie Lee Curtis running
there
in
it
Halloween
is.
Resurrection because
You
if
know.
you remember that, I think, and she was mad at the director, Rick Rosenthal, because she knew she wasn't running fast enough. But he's like, no, this is whatever. And so it's like, Michael Myers is back and she's kind of like, and turns around, and kind of in the movie, she's trying to get him to follow her, but it's just
she wasn't running.
It's not right. Yeah. So,
yeah.
It's like she ran faster in Halloween 2 drugged up than she did in Halloween Resurrection.
Oh, Halloween 2, clearly the best entry. My favorite.
For some people, they do love Halloween 2 better than Halloween 1.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand the first one's better and it's a landmark and all that, but like 2, I just saw it first and just love that one.
Was it Jamie Lee Curtis's 87 words that she spoke did it for you?
Yeah.
Why won't he die?
I just love the paramedic too that's smoking a joint like in the hospital lounge. Like,
it was
no
1978.
We got a call. Let's go. They're having sex in like the burn victim bathtub and smoking pot. I'm like, great healthcare.
Well,
I'll go to Haddonfield.
That was Haddonfield Memorial. That was the best we had. So
it's the 70s, right?
It was the 70s. So.
What are you gonna do? Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time. And we will see you on the set.